Hey guys, Justice Egan here, and I'm really excited to be cutting this video here today. Just recently I got a call from MLSP. Roxana reached out to me and let me know that I've received an incredible honor. My Lead System Pro has asked me to be part of the executive mastermind team. So, not only do I want to share a little story with you here, but I want to first of all, thank everybody. Thank those that are part of MLSP that have followed. Thank especially, Brian, Todd, Norbert, Roxana, and all the leaders that have come through the system, that are currently in the system, that really paved the way for people like me, to get results, and soon for people like you to get results if you stick with it. The reason I'm cutting this video today here in this room is because I'm up at my father's house right now, right? And this room brings back some pretty incredible memories when it comes to my start with MLSP. It was July 4th, 2 years ago, or July 3rd, I went out and I was having some back issues and I was out of my house due to some struggles I was having in a relationship, and I was basically living on a couch for the time being, and I went out, I played a little golf, and I walked into work the next morning, and I had a difficult time walking. Now, I'd had back problems, and my back had already been bothering me, and as time went on, I realized I wasn't going to be able to work that day as a waiter. Now, if you think about that, I was working on July 4th, right? And I worked almost all holidays and weekends and all that great stuff, which was one of the reasons I had leaned in or been drawn towards network marketing, because I wanted out of that industry. But at that point, I hadn't really gotten any movement in my business, and I'm at work on this holiday, and I can't walk. Right, I'm really having a difficult time walking, and I say I certainly can't wait tables. Let me go up to my father's house. He's got an inversion table. I'll hang upside down. I'll stretch, and we'll see if I can come back. So that's what I did. I came up here. And certainly I could not go back to work, and by the next morning they were wheeling me into the emergency room. I couldn't even put pressure on my feet, and I was really scared. I thought I was going to have like major back surgery right away, and I could only think about what that would cost based on the restaurant insurance I had, and it was just really a scary situation. So what happened was I ended up staying up here for about 3.5 weeks. I was heavily medicated, and I basically couldn't get around the house, and I sat in this very room a lot, okay? And it was in this very room 2 years ago that I was in front of my computer, and I finally decided I was going to take the trial inside My Lead System Pro. And, I took at the time it was a 14-day trial for the gold membership, and I took that and I dove into the training that was lined up for us there, and I spent the entire day right here, sitting almost in this spot, just a little bit off to the side here, just absorbing all this information. And I knew I had found the right place. I knew that these were the tools that were going to help me succeed, that were going to, help me become free, right? Get out of this job. But I still had a very interesting dilemma on my hands. I was thousands of dollars in debt, and I knew that the medical bills that were going to come rolling in as I continued to address my problem were going to be monstrous here. So, I sat in this room and I absorbed that training, and I decided that was my moment, right? I had the tools I needed. Very interestingly, I was sitting in this very room the next day when I got a phone call, and I was offered a job where I would have had great health insurance again, and it would have solved my financial problems. And I had to think long and hard, because I really had no results in this industry. I had nothing other than, certainly mounting debt, and maybe I couldn't go back to waiting tables. I mean, I was sitting in here, I certainly couldn't walk yet. And I made a really tough and bold decision that day, and I turned that job down. I decided that day that I was going to make a commitment to not spend my time, my energy building someone else's dream any longer, and that day I was going to do whatever it took to make things happen in this business. Now, before I cut this video today, I stepped into my MLSP back office, and I wanted to take a look and kind of remind myself of where my results were at the beginning, right? It was 2 years ago now. And, you know, I sat in here and I did the training, but then I dilly-dallied, right? I did all this stuff. I tweaked my blog header. I played around with all these non-income producing activities. You know, I stayed busy being busy, right? And, you know, I really just had so far to go before I was ready to be successful. And that's okay. And that's why I'm telling you this story here today. Because it's such an incredible honor to be asked to be part of the EMT, to be placed on, you know, the top 6 producers inside all of My Lead System Pro. And just 2 years ago, I was sitting in here dilly-dallying, going into massive debt and not knowing which way to turn. You know, so as I mentioned, I looked at those numbers, I went in there and I looked and I realized something, okay? I realized that in about my first 6 months of MLSP, I only got about 20 leads. Okay, in December actually, I really had hit such rock bottom. It had been such a struggle for me. I put so much time and effort into this, not the right way, certainly the wrong way, but I felt, you know, I felt like I had extended myself. And I didn't have any money to buy Christmas presents. I didn't have any money to do anything, even pay the bills. And that period of time right in December there, I almost quit. You know, it was the only time I actually thought about quitting. I sat down and I said, you know, Justice, maybe what everybody else is telling you is right. Maybe it's time to, you know, get your resume out there and go get a job, or, you know, do what everybody else is telling you to do. You know, you're spending money on this, and I was scraping money together. Okay, I mean, literally just moving money from one credit card to another, or doing whatever I could take, shutting things off. I mean, anything I could do just to afford my MLSP membership and some of the tools that I was using, you know, to follow the path that I was that I wanted to follow from a strategy standpoint. And, you know, a couple weeks went by and I allowed myself to have kind of a pity party. And then in January, I finally said, you know what, Justice, you turned down that job. You made a decision in this very room, basically where I'm sitting right now. And you made a decision, and you've made a lot of decisions in your life and not followed through on them, and you're not going to do that this time. I picked myself back up, guys, and I started moving, okay? And I worked and I worked and I worked, and you know, come March, I signed up a couple of people in the MLSP, and actually March was a good month. I signed up, I think, 7 or 8 people, and I thought, it's happening, this is it. And then the next month came, and I had only signed up 4 people. Right? And I think at this point, okay, almost 2 years deep, about 10 months in, now I had generated about 100 leads total, guys. So if you're out there, okay, and you feel like it's not happening fast enough, don't fall victim to comparing yourself to where other people are at. We all have a different journey to take here, okay? When we see those success stories, we don't know the backstory. We don't know what prepared that person for success. And for me, you know, I had to fall on my face for a while. I had to learn from my mistakes, and I had to struggle to prepare myself, okay, to be successful. But I kept grinding it out, and that compound effect finally started to kick in. You know, the results went up a little bit, the results went up a little bit, the results went up a little bit. And now, here I am, right? 2 years later, guys, I've generated over 16,000 leads. I've signed up 580 some odd people into My Lead System Pro, and now this incredible honor to sit on the executive mastermind team and have an opportunity to participate in Wednesday webinars and really put some more great information out there to train you guys. And I cannot be more thankful for the way things have worked out. I couldn't be more thankful for my struggles. You know, the fact that I got injured, the fact that I had a job that I didn't like. I mean, all these things played a role in being able to sit here and talk to you today. So, you know, I really, you know, this video is as much a thanks as it is a message, okay? I want you guys to understand that it really doesn't matter where you're at. You know, keep moving your business forward, make a decision and burn the bridges behind you, because, you know, good things will happen when you stay consistent. And what we have inside My Lead System Pro is incredible. The training's incredible, you know, and, you know, it's not going to be overnight success for all of us. It certainly wasn't for me. But it's worth every bit of the struggle. So guys, you know, keep at it. Can't wait to be sharing some incredible training with you. Thank you so much for stopping by and taking a minute to watch this video, to listen to my story. Brian, Todd, Norbert, Roxana, all the leaders in MLSP, thank you so much, you know, for laying the path for me to follow. And, you know, guys, if you're out there and you're watching this and you think, like, you know, that the results are so far away. They're not, okay? If you think we're so different, we're not, okay? I struggle with all the same things you struggle with. I've just made a commitment to getting better every day, and you can make that exact same commitment. And when you look at the EMT, when you look at the MMT, sorry about that, guys, had to do a quick edit there. The camera ran out of juice. But I just wanted to get this last point across because I think it's really important that you guys understand this. You know, if you take some time and you look back to when maybe when I got started 2 years ago, and you look at the EMT and the MMT then, and there were a lot of different faces there, okay? And moving forward, there are going to be different faces. There's going to be people that come along and replace all of us sometime down the road. And that's what MLSP is all about, okay? MLSP is about grooming you for success, grooming you for leadership in this industry. So guys, follow the plan inside My Lead System Pro. Understand that you are not far away from sharing in one of these leadership positions inside My Lead System Pro. This is what it is all about. And we all look forward to seeing you, you know, grow into the leader that you have the ability to become. So stick with it. Hope you enjoyed the story today. Thanks so much for stopping by and listening. And thanks again to everybody for all the help you've provided inside My Lead System Pro.